Hello students, in the previous class we have discussed about the nucleus and we have discussed about the different parts of the nucleus. I hope you have understood the topic. Now let us see what we are going to what we are going to study today. So we are going to study staining of the cell, then we are also going to study the functions of the nucleus, and then we are going to discuss the differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and we are going to study about what are prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So let us begin with the staining of the cell. Now, as we have seen that we can only see the organelles inside the cell only when the cell is colored. If the cell is not colored or stained, we cannot see the contents of the cell. So in order to see the different contents of the cell, different types of colors are used. These colors are called as stains. Okay, so let us see staining of the cell. Now it is given in the topic nucleus of your NCERT only. Okay, so what is given here, you can see in your NCERT according to the different chemical composition of the different regions of the cell. Okay, so according to the different chemical composition of the different regions of the cell, the different parts of the cell gets colored differently. So some part of the cell gets colored darker and some part of the cell gets colored lightly. If we take the example of a nucleus gets colored very darkly, but the cytoplasm gets colored very lightly. So because the different chemicals are present in the cell. Okay, so nucleus contain different chemicals, the cytoplasm contain different chemicals. So in order to observe the different parts of the cell, we use different types of colors or stains. So here you can see some regions appear darker than the other regions. Why? Because of the different chemical composition of their in them. Okay, now what colors we use? The colors that we use to color the cell are called as stains. Okay, so they are called as stains. Okay, now basically there are different types of stains. Now as we are going to study plant cell and animal cell, so we can divide them as the stain which we use in plant cell and the stain which we use in animal cell. Okay, so the stain which we use to color the plant cell is red colored, and it is called as, you can see here, safranin is a red color that we use for coloring the plant cell. Okay, and then we have a stain for animal cell that is of blue color, and that is called as methylene blue. So these are the stains. The safranin is a stain, or a methylene blue is a stain which is used to color the cells, and then only the different regions of the cell are visible to us under the microscope. Then only we can see them. Otherwise we will not be able to see the different parts of the cell. Not even the cell membrane and cell wall and nucleus, nothing can be seen. Okay, so I hope this topic is clear that staining is very important if we want to study the different parts of the cell, if we want to see the different parts of the cell. More will be clear when we will do the practical in the lab. Okay, so when we go for doing the practical, then you will see how the cells are stained and how they are seen under the, or they are visible under the microscope. Now let us move to the different topic, next topic, that is functions of the nucleus. So what are the different functions of the nucleus? Now I have already told you that cell is called, the nucleus is called as the control center of the cell. It controls the different activities of the cell. And then we have also studied that it consists of chromatin, which contains DNA, and this DNA is very important because it contains the information, and that information can be passed from one generation to the next generation. Okay, so according to your NCERT, there are only two functions given here. So the first one is, the nucleus plays a central role in cellular reproduction, means it controls reproduction. Now I have already told you, whenever the cell is going to divide, the chromatin changes into chromosome. Okay, so reproduction is a very important part of the cell, and it is controlled by the nucleus. Which part of the nucleus? Chromosomes, because the chromatin changes into chromosomes. So nucleus controls the cell division or reproduction, the process by which a single cell divides and form two new cells. I have already explained you in the previous lesson. Okay, now the what is the second function of the very important function of the nucleus is that it plays a crucial part along with the environment in determining the way the cell will develop. Now what does this mean? Now as you have learned that the life of a multicellular organism, or if we talk about our life, it is started from a single cell, and that is called as a zygote. Okay, zygote is only having one cell, but the zygote divides and forms a ball of cells, that is called as embryo. Now embryo contain different types of cells. So how these different types of cells are formed? Okay, how from one cell different types of cells are formed? What is one cell? How that one cell called zygote changes into different types of cells, or how does it lead to the formation of different types of cells? That is controlled by the nucleus. Okay, and what form it will exhibit at maturity? Okay, means what type of cell will it be forming? Now our bone cell is different and blood cell is different, but they are all formed from a single cell, that is zygote. Muscle cell is also there. So we have different types of cells, and they are formed from a single cell. And who is making it, or who is controlling the formation of these cells? The nucleus. Why? Because the nucleus is having DNA, and this DNA contains information. Okay, so it is very important that DNA is having the information, then only different types of cells are formed. Okay, by directing the chemical activities of the cell, so it controls the chemical reactions. So the DNA or the nucleus control the different chemical reactions of the cell, and that is why different types of cells are formed, different functions they perform. I hope this is a very important function of the nucleus, and this is very clear. That is why I have included this in this class, the functions of the nucleus. Now let us move to the next part, that is called as prokaryote and eukaryotic cell. Okay, now so as you can see on the screen, now what does prokaryotes means? Now prokaryote is basically made from two words, pro and karyon. Okay, now pro means primitive, and the word karyote is made from a word karyon. Karyon means nucleus. Okay, so it means what? Primitive nucleus. And eukaryote means, u means true, karyon means nucleus, true nucleus. So prokaryotes are having primitive nucleus and eukaryotes are having true nucleus. Now let us try to understand more. Now what does prokaryotes means? I already told you. Now these organism does not have a nucleus. Okay, now let us take an example. This is a cell. Okay, and this is the nucleus. Okay, and I will make another cell. This is another cell. Now there is chromosome present in this also, chromosome present here also. So this is a cell and this is a nucleus. Okay, now will you call this region as a nucleus? I will not call this region as a nucleus because it does not have any membrane. Nucleus is only called as nucleus because it has a membrane. Suppose we talk about an open ground. Will you call open ground as a room? No. For making open ground as a room, you have to construct four walls and a roof. If there are four walls and a roof, you can call that structure as a room. But if you remove all the walls and the roof, will you call it as a room? No, it will be an open space. So in prokaryotes, there is a nuclear region. Nucleus basically means, or nuclear region basically means center. Okay, so central region is there in the prokaryotic cell, but this central region having a chromosome, the chromosome is present. This is a chromosome. Okay, but it is not surrounded by any membrane. As you can see here, it is not surrounded by any membrane. If you see the diagram, you can see this chromosome is there, but can you see any membrane around it? No, you cannot see any membrane around it. Now let us see the eukaryotic cell. This is a eukaryotic cell. You can see the nucleus and you can see this nuclear membrane. Here it is written nuclear envelope. I told you nuclear membrane is also called as nuclear envelope. Okay, so you can see a nuclear membrane. That is why this is called as a nucleus. But if you see here, this region, this is the central region, it is not surrounded by any nuclear membrane, so we cannot call it as a nucleus. So what it is called, we call it as a nucleoid region, or simply we can call it as a nucleoid. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is the basic difference between prokaryote and eukaryote. Prokaryotes does not have a nucleus, means it is not having a nuclear membrane, so we cannot call it as a nucleus, but the nuclear region is there, means the central region is there. But the eukaryotes have a well defined nucleus having the nuclear membrane. Okay, so you can see in the definition here, in some organism like bacteria, the nuclear region of the cell is very poorly defined. Why? Because it does not have a nuclear membrane. So we cannot separate nuclear region or the nucleus from the rest of the parts of the cell, that is the cytoplasm. If you see the diagram again, the cytoplasm is in continuous with the nucleoid or the central region. We cannot differentiate these two parts because it does not have a nuclear membrane. Okay, so such an undefined nuclear region, means which cannot be defined, it can be defined only when the nuclear membrane is present, but without the nuclear membrane it cannot be defined. Containing only nucleic acid. What is nucleic acid? DNA or RNA, deoxyribonucleic acid or ribonucleic acid, and that nuclear region is called as nucleoid. So prokaryotes does not have a nucleus, but it have a nuclear region, means central region is present in every part, everything central region is present, and that central region is present in the prokaryotes or prokaryotic cell, and that is called as a nucleoid. So such organism are called as prokaryotes. Okay, whose cells lack a nuclear membrane are called as prokaryote. Pro means primitive or primary, karyote means karyon or nucleus. I hope this is very clear to you all. And what about eukaryotes? Eukaryotes have a proper nucleus is there, and they have a nuclear membrane is there. That is why proper nucleus is there. Okay, now let us discuss more about prokaryotes. Now you can see here the nuclear membrane is absent. Okay, and there are different parts are there which are doing the functions. Okay, let us discuss more about the prokaryotes. Now organism with cells having a nuclear membrane are called as eukaryotes. I already told you. Now prokaryotic cells lack most of the cytoplasmic organelles present in eukaryotic cells. Okay, so we can simply say that the membrane bound cell organelles are absent in the prokaryotic cell. Okay, but all the organelles are present in the eukaryotic cell, but the membrane bound cell organelles are absent in the prokaryotic cell. So your homework is to find out which organelle is present in the prokaryotic cell, and also find out whether it is covered by a membrane or it does not have a membrane. This is the homework. Write in your copies. Okay, next is many functions of such organelles. Now if there are no organelles, then we have already learned that the cell is able to function only because of the cell organelles. But we are seeing here in the prokaryotic cell, the cell organelles are absent. So without the cell organelles, how the cell will function? So the cell organelles, instead of the cell organelles, the functions of the cell organelles are performed by poorly organized parts of the cytoplasm. So the different parts of the cytoplasm, they organize themselves to do different functions like the cell organelles. Okay, now the chlorophyll in photosynthetic bacteria, we have already studied that chlorophyll is present inside the chloroplast, and chloroplast is an organelle. But the bacteria does not have an organelle because it is a prokaryotic cell. So where is this chlorophyll present? This chlorophyll is a pigment. It is not present inside the chloroplast in the prokaryotic bacteria. So where it is present? In the membranous vesicles. Vesicles are bag-like structures, but not with plastids, because plastids are organelles and they are not present. So they are present in membranous vesicles. So where is this membranous vesicles are present? This is a cell membrane. You can see here plasma membrane. This yellow color structure is there called as plasma membrane, and this plasma membrane organize like this in a bag like structure, and they form the vesicle. This we can call as a vesicle. Okay, and inside this chlorophyll is present and they are doing photosynthesis. Okay, I hope this is clear. So the chlorophyll is not present in the plastid because plastid is a cell organelle. Okay, so cell organelles are absent in the prokaryote. So the membrane, the cell membrane, organized to form a bag like structure where chlorophyll is present and they are doing photosynthesis. Now let us discuss about the differences between eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Okay, now this is a eukaryotic cell. You can see all the cell organelles are present here. These cell organelles we are going to study in the next part. Okay, now, so what is the difference? First difference is size is generally small. Okay, so prokaryotic cells are smaller in size, 1 to 10 micron. This is called as, this is not U. This is made like this, U having a line here. So this is actually called as mu, and mu m is meter. So it is together called as this. If it is written, this is called as micron. Okay, I will write it more clearly. Micron, MICRON, micron. So 1 micron is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 meter. Okay, so prokaryotes are smaller in size, and what about eukaryotes? They are larger in size, 5 to 100 micron. And some of the eukaryotic cells can be seen with our naked eyes, like the egg that we eat. Okay, that is also a single cell. Now nuclear region. What about the prokaryotic cell? Nuclear region is poorly defined, and is known as nucleoid. So nuclear region is poorly defined and is called as nucleoid. And what about the eukaryotes? It is well defined because it is having a nuclear membrane. Okay, so prokaryotes have a single chromosome and eukaryotes have more than one chromosome. So different chromosomes are present in different organism. How many chromosomes do we have? Find out. I will ask. Okay, now membrane bound organelles are absent, that we have already seen. Membrane bound organelles are absent. What about eukaryotic cells? Membrane bound organelles are present. Okay, so membrane bound organelles are present, but there are some organelle which is present in prokaryotic cell, and that is you have to find out. So find out, this is your homework. So membrane bound organelles are present in eukaryotes and membrane bound cell organelles are absent in prokaryotes. So write all the notes properly in your notebooks. Thank you, students.